give him a battle for this title. So there, away we go, and we start with a snatch, and that will be followed by the clean and jerk. So a good positive start to the competition. And there the views backstage. You can see a lot of action back there. All the competitors and coaches there looking at the scoreboard. The first weight chosen by the competitors, very important indeed. A lot of psyching out going on at the back, and you can see the lifters warming up. So there the list for Group A. Shemikin right at the top. And the weights on the side there, they're weighing Shemikin at 158.05. So this is Kruzovic. Kruzovic 167.5. His first lift, and that looks good. The world record stands at 2:05. And the power and strength of these men is quite incredible. So there our next contender, Doroshuk of Belarus. First attempt at 170. So the first of 3 lifts. The coaches look on. And just toppling forwards there, but regained his balance. And a good lift there from Ruslan Dorochuk from Belarus. 3 white lights. And you can see, gets under the bar well. The weight topples forwards. And did well to regain control there. Doroshuk, who weighed in at 119.45. And there, our next man up. Ruslan Doroshuk. And a good lift. So Bergman is 172.5. On his second lift. Totally focused and really concentrating on the job in hand. Good lift from the 29-year-old from Latvia. There the officials looking on, and the 3 referees here from Argentina, Hungary and Greece. They're the officials and organisers of this event, and it's been organised very well indeed. Kakis, who has already won a title here in the 99 kilogram class. He's at the back there, trying to point people in the right direction. So the weights, I believe, being changed on the bar. There's our next man prepares himself to come back out again. And there Norik done a million at 175. The 23-year-old from the Ukraine. His first attempt. And didn't hesitate there, straight to the bar. And 3 white lights for Norik Dunamelian from the Ukraine. And he looks supremely confident. Well, it's scheduled to be Alexei Kruchevich back out for his second attempt now. Weight on the bar 175, already successful at 167.5. And not this time. So a no lift there for Alexei Kruchevich, the man who's ranked number 6 in the world this year. And you can see couldn't get underneath it. Timing and technique, so important. So now Ruslan Dorochuk, his second attempt at 175. Already been successful at 170. Ruslan, who's ranked equal 9th in the world with Tibor Stark, who has yet to start in this competition. This looks good. Indeed it is. And he throws the bar back on the floor. So a good lift there from Ruslan Dorochuk from Belarus. And he in fact is the youngest man in the competition at 22 years of age. Totally committed. Now the third attempt for Kruchevich. Had one attempt at this weight. So his third and final attempt. 175, that looks better. Very sharp indeed. So his final lift in the snatch. And their confirmation of the 3 lifts. 175, his final weight. Of course, these men will be back to compete in the clean and jerk, and then their weights that they've lifted will be added together to give the total and the overall world champion. So now they're Latvian Bergmains. And, well, look, for a moment, he was going to get there. So, Raymond Bergerman goes out at 177.5. Successful at 172.5. And the 29-year-old from Latvia out there. Because he's struggling to get it. The bar in the correct position, but out he goes. So a big roar goes up for Nellinger from Germany. And his first attempt. The weight on the bar, 180 kilos. Manfred Nellinger, a soldier. And he has a personal best of 192.5, ranked number 2 in the world. Doesn't he make it look easy? 3 white lights for the German, Manfred Nellinger.
180 kilograms.
Now 35 years of age.
Is for the first attempt of Kim Tae-hyun of Korea.
And he is in fact the oldest man in the competition. And using all that experience here in these championships. So now to the Korean. This is Tae-hyun Kim, ranked number 5 in the world. And he weighed in at 128.55 kilos, one of the lighter men. And a good lift. Bit of a pause there. But 3 white lights, very positive indeed. Tae-hyun Kim, successful in his opening lift at 180 kilos. Just a bit of a pause and away he goes, not a problem. Good lock on the elbows. So our next competitor, the Hungarian. This is Tibor Stark, 23-year-old, and his first lift at 180, and struggled to get hold of that one. So his first attempt is a no lift at 180 kilograms. And he'll go backstage now to recompose himself. You can see he got the bar a little bit too far back. Fought to try and keep it in the correct position, but unable to regain his balance and had to let it go. So now to Salcides, his first attempt. Pavlos Salcides. And the weight on the bar still 180 kilograms. Pavlos ranked equal 3rd in the world this year with Stefan Bultek, who still has to take his first lift. Just taking his time. And that was good. A good opening lift there from Pavlos. And there, confirmation, 3 white lights. And he opens his round with 180 kilos on the bar. Oh, super effort. So now to the Ukrainian and his second attempt. And, oh, just lost it. Well, for a moment it looked as though he was going to be okay. Already successful at 175 kilos. That was Norik Dolomelian from the Ukraine. And he's got 1 lift to go, but out at 180 there. A no lift. You can see lunging forwards. And just lost control. So still 1 lift left in the snatch. And the Hungarian now back, Tibor Stark, for his second lift. Remember, a no lift at his first attempt at 180. Now he'll want to get this one. safely under his belt. Looks better. Again going forwards, but regained control. And a good lift there for Tibor. So he has one lift remaining in the snatch. You can see his head just tipping forwards as he powers up. And did well to regain composure again. So good lift there from Tibor Stark as the Belarusian comes back for his third and final attempt. This is Ruslan Dorochuk. Weight on the bar 180, been successful at 175. Looks good. And a good lift. 3 white lights for Ruslan Dorochuk. And 3 good lifts. So he'll be pleased with his performance today in the snatch. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back with more action from Canton and these World Weightlifting Championships.
Primetime Boxing, your boxing magazine, Wednesday 8 p.m. on Eurosport.
In any man's opinion, show jumping is one of the most noble of sports. From Oslo to Geneva, the World Cup has become a traditional rendezvous on Eurosport. This program is brought to you on Eurosport by Volvo.
Welcome back. Rejoin us for the World Weightlifting Championships here in Canton. And there, Skripkin up for his first attempt at 182.5. And that will be a no lift. So not a good start for Artur Skripkin, 27-year-old from Russia.
182.5 kilograms. It's for the second attempt of Skripkin of Russia. Do we follow?
Well, really never looked on that one. Still two men who haven't, no, in fact it is 3 men that haven't had a lift yet. And one of them the European champion, Andrei Shemekin. So Skripkin back for his second attempt at 182.5. And he'll be given 2 minutes now. Usually the lifters are given a minute in which to make their lift, but if they're the only remaining competitor at that weight, they're in fact given 2 minutes to just regain their concentration and composure. So Artur Skripkin with his second attempt here at 182.5. Looks better. Oh dear me. Well, he'll be bitterly disappointed. Another no lift. And the coaches will have to do some work on him in the warm-up room at the back. You see a little bit of a twist in there, and doesn't just seem to have that mental composure. So Skripkin with a lot to do. Now the Ukrainian with his third attempt. Tulemelian. but he had a no lift at 180 kilos, and for his third lift now, he's put another 2.5 on the bar. Norik, who weighed in at 118.85. And looks good. Well, good. Again, he leant forwards a little bit towards the end of the lift, but regained control. So a good lift at 182.5, and his final lift there, Norik Dunamelian from the Ukraine. You see there, just toppling forwards. And 110% concentration. And there a good shot of the mental preparation and the tension backstage there. You can almost cut the atmosphere with a knife. Tibor Stark, I think it is, next to go from Hungary. In fact, it's Skripkin with his third and final attempt. Artur Skripkin. Remember, 2 failures at 182.5. That looks better. 3 white lights. Now, if only he could have done that in his opening lift. So, 3 lifts completed now for Artur Skripkin. And he looked really psyched out for that third attempt. So the first time we've seen this man, Botev from Australia, 185 on the bar. Look at that, no problem at all. Man weighing in at 121.3, and a good opening lift from Stefan Botev. Made it look so easy. Very powerful man and totally committed. So now Nerlinger from Germany. His second attempt at 185. Already lifted 180 in his first round lift. Just psyching himself up. Weighed in at 163.1. The heaviest man in the competition. Look at that. And a red light from the second judge, but a majority vote there. So a good lift there for Manfred Nerlinger, the soldier from Germany. 1 lift to go for him. And Weller and Shemekin still to make their first lift. Look at the power of that man. So now the Korean Tae-hyun Kim, ranked number 5 in the world. Now 26 years of age, weighed in at 128.55. So this is his second attempt. And not this time. So no lift there for Tae-hyun Kim. A 5 kilogram increase there for his second attempt. And still one lift to go, remember.
Έτσι, μην βιάζεσαι καθόλου στο πρώτο σου. Όλο μέσα η μπάρα. Ψηλά το σαγόνι στο κάθισμα.
So this man ranked equal third in the world. Pavlos Saltsits from Greece. 185 on the bar. Already successful at 180.
Κεφάλι δεν χώνουμε. Ψηλά. Το σαγόνι ψηλά.
Just taking his time, making sure that grip's right. And slow through the lift there. So a no lift there for Pavlos Saltsis at 185, and he'll be disappointed. Still one attempt to go. Ranked equal third in the world with Stefan Botev, the Australian. So we'll see him a little later. And back with Tibor Stark. Stark now with his third and final lift. A big roar goes up, and that looks good. He's got it for sure. 3 white lights, and he's thrilled with that. A good third round lift for Tibor Stark, 185. So not a good first lift from him. A no lift at 180. Got it the second time round, and successful at 185. Now back with the Korean Tae Hyun Kim, ranked number 5 in the world. His third attempt now at 185. Kim now 26 years of age, and the 30-second buzzer you could hear in the background then. Remember, the competitor's given a minute in which to make the lift. And no. So no lift there for Tae Hyun Kim. And his best lift, 180. That in his opening round. So Pavlos Saltsis back for his third and final lift. 185 on the bar. Just remember, still to come, Ronnie Weller from Germany. He hasn't made a first round lift yet, and neither has the European champion Andrei Shemakin. Shemakin, the world record holder in the clean and jerk. Oh dear me. Well, he looks back at his coach in despair, and obviously a no lift there at 185. And the grip not good. So the bar now being wiped. As the big German comes back out again, Manfred Nerlinger. His third attempt now, 187.5. And a lot of mental preparation. Personal best of 192.5. But this will be a big lift for him if he can make it. Oh, dear me. Well, look for a minute as though he may have made that one, but wasn't to be. So out at 187.5, his best lift, 185 kilos. A big, powerful man, weighed in at 163.1. Just couldn't regain control. So there, our first look at the European champion, Andrei Shemyakin of Russia. Weighed in at 158.05. And in very good form here. Look at that. Quite brilliant. So there, 190. And he hardly batted an eyelid through that lift. So quick. Getting that bar over his head. No hesitation. Shemyakin winner in the Paul Anderson Memorial in Atlanta this year. So now Stefan Botev with his second attempt at 190, and very good indeed. 3 white lights for him, not a problem. So an opening lift at 185, second attempt 190. The Australian going well. Remember, he's ranked equal third in the world this year with Pavlos Tsoultzis from Greece, who's gone out at 185. So now to the German, the first time we've seen him today, Ronnie Weller. And his opening lift here. Weller with a personal best of 2:05, now 26 years of age. Just takes his time. And a little bit of a wobble there, but got his balance back. And a good lift there from Weller at 192.5. So Ronnie Weller, who's also a soldier. This is his teammate, Manfred Nerlinger. So a good view of the massive scoreboard here in this arena. As Australian Stefan Botev comes back out for his third and final attempt. 192.5 on the bar. Already successful at 185 in his opening lift, and then 190 on his second round lift. And no, it wasn't to be. Got it all wrong there. He shakes his head in disgust. 192.5. And not to be for Stefan Botev today. And you could sense by the look on his face, not mentally in tune. So now back with the big Russian, his second attempt, 197.5. Remember his opening round lift at 190. Up 7.5 kilos now. Very good indeed. Just look at that, the master. European champion, 3 white lights for Andrei Shemekin. What an incredible competitor this man is. Ranked #1 in the world at the moment, and with that sort of performance, easy to see why. So much power and technique. Brilliant. Shemekin, the man to beat at the moment. Now, Ronnie Weller, the German soldier, now with his second attempt at 197.5. A battle of wits here. Weller started off this round at 192.5. Shemekin started with a weight of 190. Both at 197.5 on their second round lifts. But of course, Weller by far the lighter man. So if at the end of this they both lift the same weight, it would be Weller that won. And he really does take his time, doesn't he, before the lift, and that's good. So the battle on. 1 lift each remaining for the Russian and Ronnie Weller. Well, Andrei Shemekin, world record holder at the clean and jerk, which stands at 253.5. The world record in the snatch stands at 205.
The weight of the bar is 200 kilograms. Is for the third attempt of Weller of Germany. To be followed by Shemekin.
So Weller it is, in fact, that takes the next lift with 200 kilos on the bar. And Andrei Shemekin going for a big lift. Weller with a personal best of 205, and there Andrei Shemekin looking at the scoreboard backstage and just keeping calm. He wants this world title more than anything. The reigning champion, Alexander Kulovic, unable to defend his title this year because he's been tested positive twice and has been banned for a year. So their confirmation that it will be Weller that comes up next. A lot of action backstage, and here he comes, just taking his time. Remember, he's allowed 2 minutes between his last lift and this one, and a bit of German support here now. So what can he do? Ronnie Weller, he needs to get this win, this lift to push Andrei Shemekin to the absolute limit. So 200 kilos on the bar. Just taking his time again, and here he goes. And it's not to be. Well, a bit of a strain in the right hand then, and let's hope he's okay for a little bit later on when these guys take part in the clean and jerk. So now Weller and Shemekin have both lifted 197.5. So Shemekin now going for a big lift. 202.5 on the bar. Now this, to win the snatch, if he's not successful here, it means that both Weller and Shemekin have lifted 197.5, and it would be Ronnie Weller that wins because he is the lighter man. He knows it's an important one, and out he goes. So it's a silver medal here in the snatch for the European champion, Andrei Chemakin. And Ronnie Weller will be delighted backstage. I bet he could hardly watch that. There, down and out. And he made his first 2 lifts. Looks so easy. And the despair on his face says it all. There, Chemakin at the top of the scoreboard there. But that doesn't mean that he's won the competition. It is, in fact, Ronnie Weller for Germany who wins the snatch. And Chemakin for Russia in 2nd place, with Stefan Botev for Australia in 3rd with a lift of 190 kilos. And their confirmation of the final results. 197.5 for both Weller and Chemakin, but remember Weller the lighter man, so he takes the title. Tibor Stark in 4th, and the big German Nerlinger in 5th place.